You wake to brittle cold, breath swirling above your pillow. A Winnipeg morning in 1983 hits minus 35 degrees Celsius. Frost tattoos every window, and you race for the wood stove, hoping Dad has coaxed out some warmth. In homes like this, a single gift beneath the tree meant more than a mountain of boxes, and every parent's quest began long before dawn with catalog slips and Canadian Tire money saved all year. But why did scarcity make these moments unforgettable? And how did a generation find magic, and sometimes heartbreak, in having so little? The answer begins on that frozen floorboard. The first thing you notice is the cold. Not the polite chill of autumn, but a deep, bone-aching cold that seeps through plaster and wood. Under the quilt, your nose stings, and every breath hangs in the air, swirling like a ghost above your pillow. The bedroom window is a sheet of white, ferns and feathers of frost curling from the corners, the glass so cold you can trace your name in the ice with a fingertip. Floorboards creak as you slip out of bed, bare feet recoiling from the shock. Every step is a dare, a quick sprint down the hall toward the promise of heat. Somewhere in the house, Dad is already up. He has been awake since before the sun, coaxing the wood stove to life, feeding it split logs and fanning the embers until the metal hisses and pops. There is a sweetness in the air, the resin of spruce and the faint tang of last night's ashes. The living room glows with a different kind of warmth, orange and gold, flickering against the walls. You linger by the stove, soaking in the heat, toes finally relaxing, pajamas warming through. The tree stands in the corner, branches drooping with tinsel and paper chains. Beneath it, one box sits alone. Not a pile, not a mountain, just a single gift, wrapped in red foil, the corners neatly folded. You know what is inside, or you think you do. Maybe it is the Cabbage Patch Kid everyone at school whispered about, the one that sold for more than $100 on the resale market. Or maybe it is a Transformer, or a My Little Pony, or a G.I. Joe. In 1983, a Cabbage Patch Kid was worth its weight in gold, and parents across Canada lined up all night outside Consumers Distributing in hopes of bringing one home. But for now, the gift waits. The room is quiet except for the soft crackle of the fire and the sound of your own heart, thumping with expectation. In that moment, scarcity is not a burden. It is magic. One present, one chance, and the hope that this year, it is the thing you wished for most. December in Canada meant the Consumers Distributing catalog on every kitchen table, its glossy pages marked with circles and initials. Parents and kids negotiated, each choice weighed against the family budget. The ritual began with a number, carefully copied onto a slip, handwriting pressed hard as if that would make the wish real. At the store, the process felt almost sacred. You would hand your slip to the clerk, sometimes a teenager, sometimes someone who had seen every Christmas rush since the 70s. Behind them, the back room stayed hidden, shelves stacked with boxes you could only imagine. The wait was tense. Sometimes your number was called and the box appeared, almost miraculous. Other times the clerk returned empty-handed, and hope faded. The flashboard at the front listed what was gone, but no one wanted to look until it was their only option. Boxing Day turned the ritual into a test of endurance. Lineups wrapped around the building, breath visible in the cold, families clutching catalogs and slips, hoping for a deal or a second shot at the toy that got away. In 1983 and 1984, the lines for Cabbage Patch Kids and Transformers started before sunrise. Parents swapped stories and coffee. Clerks hustled between counter and warehouse, the pace relentless. The air buzzed with a mix of excitement and exhaustion, everyone chasing the same hope. Canadian Tire was a holiday world of its own. The smell hit first: rubber, oil, and a hint of tinsel. Kids drifted toward sleds and hockey sticks. Parents compared socket sets and quietly counted out Canadian Tire money saved over months. By 1989, billions of those green and red coupons had changed hands, each one a small promise tucked away for Christmas. The store glowed red and green, even socket sets felt festive. For many, the real magic was in these rituals, the shared hustle, the anticipation, and the hope that this year the right box would finally appear. On Boxing Day, the house filled with the sound of skates on ice and the familiar theme song drifting from the television. Hockey night in Canada brought families together, no matter which team you cheered for. 4 to 6 million Canadians tuned in every year, the country holding its breath as the Habs faced the Leafs. The living room became an arena. 3 generations squeezed onto the sofa, mugs of hot chocolate warming cold hands. Before the puck dropped, everyone rose for O Canada. Even the youngest kids stood still, eyes fixed on the screen, the anthem echoing between walls decorated with leftover tinsel. The hockey felt like a family ritual. Arguments flared over missed calls and offside goals. Grandpa insisted the referee was blind. Dad rolled his eyes, and someone always claimed the game was rigged against their team. But when Don Cherry appeared in a jacket louder than the crowd, everything stopped. In 1987, his floral suit drew over 200 complaints to the CBC, but in living rooms across the country, laughter drowned out any outrage. These were moments stitched into memory, as real as the snow piling up outside. The adrenaline of the game faded into the quiet buzz of anticipation for the school concert. In every small town and city, gymnasiums transformed with paper snowflakes and tinsel garlands. Rows of metal folding chairs filled with parents bundled in parkas, clutching programs creased by nervous hands. Kids in itchy sweaters and crooked halos lined up on risers, costumes held together with pins and hope. Someone always forgot their lines. A shepherd tripped over a shepherdess, and a teacher's voice whispered frantic reminders from the wings. The chaos never mattered. The pride on a parent's face, the applause that filled the gym, and the feeling of belonging lingered long after the final song. Specialist E, a teacher from that era, remembers the scramble to find enough glue sticks and the thrill of watching shy kids find their voice. For a few shining minutes, every child was a star, and every family felt the warmth of community, even on the coldest December night. Dinner carried its own quiet gravity. The table stretched to fit everyone, 3 generations squeezed elbow to elbow, plates crowding every inch of faded linen. Steam rolled off the turkey, golden and crackling, while bowls of stuffing and mashed potatoes made slow circuits around the table. For French-Canadian families, tourtière took center stage, its flaky crust hiding spiced meat, a recipe passed down and perfected in church basements and family kitchens. Somewhere nearby, a tray of Nanaimo bars waited, chocolate gleaming beneath a layer of custard, each square a taste of the West Coast. Butter tarts lined up beside them, syrup pooled in their centers, the kind of dessert that disappeared before you could blink. Before anyone picked up a fork, the room hushed. Grandparents led the grace, voices steady with years, hands joined across generations, some rough from work, some small and fidgeting, some trembling just a little. In that moment, the clatter of dishes faded, and the only sound was the soft murmur of thanks, a pause that seemed to stretch forever. The meal itself was a slow unraveling, laughter rising, stories traded, second helpings negotiated, and the gentle ache of fullness settling in. In the background, the radio played carols or the faint echo of a hockey recap. But the real warmth came from the people packed close together, holding on to each other and to the rituals that made the day feel whole. After the last crumb was gone and the coffee poured, the living room filled again. Curtains drawn against the night, the glow of the television flickered across tired faces. Only 3 channels to choose from, but that was enough. CBC aired the Mr. Dress-Up Christmas Special, or maybe the Beachcombers, or Wayne and Schuster cracking jokes that made even the adults laugh. 85% of Canadian households tuned in, the country stitched together by the soft blue light of a shared screen. Someone pressed play on the VCR on a tape marked in black pen, Christmas 1985. Static followed, then the shaky footage of kids in pajamas, paper crowns slipping, voices high and wild. The past and present folded into each other. One family, one nation, one night that always felt too short. In the hush that followed, there was a sweetness and a sting. The ache of knowing these moments never lasted, but the memory would stay, warm as the last embers in the stove. While today's holidays overflow with noise and screens, the 1980s taught us that joy can thrive in scarcity and in togetherness. As digital connection grows, genuine shared moments become rare. The warmth we remember is not just nostalgia, it is a reminder to make space for meaning. Treasure what matters. Thank you for watching.